I read a very interesting stat that says the lack of social connection is now cited as being as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It was shocking to me because I think we live in a place, in a time where social connection should be easier, and yet we're feeling more lonely and more disconnected than ever before. It's not about the quantity of the people you know or the quantity of friends, it's about the quality of those friendships. Hi guys, welcome back to the Pillay Place. Excited to have you guys here today. We are talking about relationships. I read a very interesting stat that says the lack of social connection is now cited as being as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases premature death by 60%.
That's crazy.
I know. And we're living in a time where social connection should be
Do you remember
easier.
where you got the stat?
I can find it.
Okay. Never mind. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, I just thought it was shocking to me because I think we live in a place, in a time where social connection should be easier.
We're connected more as human beings.
Or at least we think we are.
At least we think we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Like being plugged in.
We're plugged in. We can see updates on people's lives.
Yeah. And yet we're feeling more lonely and more disconnected than ever before.
Okay.
So what do you think that is?
Well, I mean, the topic's relationships. So adding two and two together, this must be because we just don't foster or cultivate relationships as much as we used to. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it got me looking into it. I mean, I see a lot of people who are lonely.
Yeah.
And it made me kind of thinking back to what God made us. He didn't make us to be by ourselves,
Yeah.
right? He made us to fellowship.
Right.
And he also made, I kept thinking about when he made Adam, he just goes these animals are not good enough for you. You need a partner.
Another
you
partner.
need a helper.
Yeah.
You need somebody that's as equal to you.
Right.
And then came Eve.
You need somebody for communion and relationship. Was what he created Eve for, and then all of a sudden Adam could have relationship, right? And growth happened through relationship, right? Actually, having kids comes through relationship, and the relationship actually starts with the father. That's the thing that got destroyed when sin happened. But it's interesting you talk about relationships because when we read about people on their deathbed, almost every single person don't ever say things like, "Oh, bring me, how much money did I make? How much work did I do?" Right? It's typically about bring me my loved ones close to me. Right? Where's all the relationships? My good friends and so forth. You constantly seek the relationships, or at least that's what we see when folks die, is that they look for the people that they had interaction with.
Yeah. Yeah, we are hardwired for connection.
Yeah.
I think as humans, we like the physical touch, the emotional support.
Right.
It releases oxytocins, which lowers, the cortisol, the stress hormone, right? And so I think that is very, that says something. We're hardwired to have relationships around us, healthy ones. We're not talking about, we'll save that for another day on relationships that are not good for us, right? But we're talking about really healthy relationships. There's a Harvard study of adult development found that quality relationship is the single strongest predictor of long-term health and a long life, beating out lifestyle, smoking, exercise, and wealth.
It's very interesting that you mentioned that because that's a really important stat. And it reminds me of what Jesus said. What's your greatest commandment? Right? Somebody asked him, "What's your greatest commandment?" And he said, "The greatest commandment in life is to love your God. Number one, love your God. Two is love your neighbor." Right? And to me, the prerequisite for loving anybody is to actually have a relationship with them. If you think about it, you and I, like, we didn't fall in deep love the moment we met, right? It was actually the opposite, right? We used to fight. But point being is we fostered a love for each other through our relationship, right? Relationship is what helps you love each other, resolve conflicts. Relationship is what helps you grow together, right? Get closer and so forth.
Well, you made a good point about growing, because one of the, what I think in a mature relationship, there's that spark, right? Where we're like, oh, it's the butterflies. It's kind of based off of feelings.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, in a mature relationship, it's actually a commitment and a choice to continue to like love each other, and
right.
to to continue to grow that relationship. And in every relationship, there's my dad used to tell me, you are who you hang out with.
Yeah. That's a
Right.
good point.
He always tells me, he's like, I can tell who you are by the people that you hang out
Your
with.
association.
That you're exactly. And so being around like-minded people,
Yeah.
like, teaches you a lot
That's
of
right.
things. And I think as we're having close relationship will help you not only understand them and like people, but it helps you understand yourself.
Right.
It's like, it's a growth of like, that's your like identity and self-discovery. You understand and have more empathy for yourself
Yeah.
when you are able to connect with people around you.
Yeah, this is another aspect of relationship that I learned is it's not necessarily, relationships, it's actually pretty easy to have relationships when things are great. Right? It's another story when things are tough, right? Especially when you have conflicts in your relationship. And I know the topic's not conflicts, but the point is like relationship is how you actually navigate everyday life, right? Especially with others. If you're with other people, it's not just about being like a robot and just doing your own thing. It's actually, life is about, there's way more fulfillment in life if you foster a relationship.
Yeah, what you're talking about is like the fulfillment in life, that purpose and that meaning. It's like the desire to create or nurture things will outlast oneself,
Yeah,
right? Like, because it's beyond yourself. It's really not about you.
right.
It's like, it's not about, when we're talking about relationship, it's not about what we can get out of the relationship, but it's more fulfilling on what you can give. I think that's why people, they get to a certain level in their lives where they're like, I just want to mentor, right? I just want to give back.
Yeah.
I just want to have somebody where I can train and like take on
Right.
the next step for me when I'm around. That's why parenting is so important.
Yeah.
I think pastors are so important.
Well, you're talking about legacy, and real legacy actually starts with relationship, right? Like God gave a legacy to Abraham in the Bible, but it went through years of relationship between God and Abraham before that legacy was actually transferred to Abraham and then descendants to come. Even Abraham had a really good relationship with his son, which is how he actually started the legacy of being a father of many nations, right? So, I am convinced that relationships is important based on this conversation. I guess the question is, how do I cultivate or how do I foster good relationships? Or even how do I do this? How do I have deeper relationships with people?
That topic hurts me a little bit.
Okay.
And mainly because I start seeing how a lot of people struggle more really in relationship now. And maybe it's like social media and maybe it's all that. But like, we are all, one of our core human needs is to be seen, to be known, and to be accepted.
Yeah.
But then there's this mask of I can't be who I am. I can't show vulnerability. I can't be weak. I have to paint this perfect picture like how social media would look like, would
Yeah.
see me. I have to tell people about all my vacations, all my accomplishments. And then, but the thing is, like, we all fall short.
Yeah.
Like, we are all, like, we all fall short. Only Jesus is perfect.
Perfect one.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'd like to come on camera and be like, oh, I have it all together. Here's all the answers. But the truth is, I'm still trying to figure it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? And we are in a time where there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
Do this and this and this. But it's really about bringing authenticity into that relationship.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my house is a mess and my laundry's not done. My kids are crazy or whatever. That's the realness. That's what people want to see. But then they're so afraid of judgment.
Yeah.
They're so afraid of what people are going to think of them.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's so many comparison too, that it's so many layers that people have to just be or make themselves appear differently.
Yeah.
And then you're not being real in that relationship.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you said about authenticity. It's for those that are listening, what Van is really alluding to or pointing to is actually just being more open, is how you actually start and foster healthy relationships. And I can attest to it because my strongest relationships in business, these are business relationships. They're transactional, they're very logical, they're financially motivated. But my best relationships, right, is the ones that we were honest with each other. We were open. We're like, we saw and we made mistakes, but here's what we learned, and we'd like to work with you. And those were the best relationships. People that gave us chances based on the fact that we were authentic, vulnerable, and open, and willing to honestly take an inventory of who we are, where we are, and just open ourselves up.
Yeah, it's very true. You said something this morning that one of your friend got on the call with you, and he said, I really just want to throw my 5-year-old out the balcony right now.
Yes.
And, and I just go, oh my gosh. I would lie if I said I have never thought of that.
I know. But the fact that, he can be so honest and open with me, and we have a business relationship.
Exactly.
Right. And we've always seen each other as, these put together guys that, look like we have it all together. But reality is that's the truth.
Yeah,
Sometimes we're like pulling our hair out and we have no idea where the answer comes from.
We are all like broken in some ways,
Yeah.
right? Like we are good in Jesus, but like we're not perfect.
Left to our own devices,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I think it's important that knowing, like when we are in, like relationships or romantic relationships, right? It's knowing that you're not really alone.
Yeah.
Like you could call up. That's why we have this one friend that we call up and be like, literally, I'm just gonna dump this on you, and that's okay. And then we kind of move on. It actually helps us feel better. Like it helps us feel better.
Yeah. The really good friend will answer calls even if you don't talk to them for 3 years.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And the statistic shows that our body also recover quicker from illnesses and injury when we have like supportive,
Yeah.
real relationships.
Well, that's the part of creation, right? Because relationship originally meant we have a relationship with God himself.
Yeah.
Right? And that he is the source of life. So if you're connected to the source of life, it would only make sense if, you're healing faster, even physically, right? Unfortunately, relationship is what, Satan attacked. Sin killed relationship, right?
Yeah.
I know we're going to wrap up soon, but one last thing that I want to add to this is giving people chances. In friendships, just pure friendships, somebody that you just met 2 days ago, those types of friendships I only was able to foster if I gave people chances.
Yeah. Well, another point I want to make is that in relationship, with any relationship, we're not just talking about romantic relationship. In any relationship, there are always risk,
Sure.
because you are giving this dynamic a part of you,
Right.
right? And maybe in the beginning it's like shared hobbies, or things like that. It's just like very superficial. Like, okay, yeah, we can talk about sports and food and books or whatever, right? The second is like, we're kind of testing, do we have shared values?
Yeah.
Do we kind of believe in the same things,
Right.
right? And then that makes us feel a little safer. Okay, we can share, we have shared values. And then the third is this really like growth oriented, and where we're not afraid to be authentic and real and be honest with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm in pain, I'm struggling, or I'm genuinely happy for you. Like that, this is great, right?
Yeah.
Like that is the piece that's deeper.
Right.
That's almost, I feel like that's fewer friends.
Yeah.
It's not about the quantity of the people or the quantity of friends. It's about the quality of
Yep.
those friendships,
Yep.
right? And I think about one of our couples friends, where you hung out with the husband, I spent time with the wife, and then we come back together and we're like, how did it go? And you told me that the husband told you, oh man, our marriage is great. Everything is so good. And I'm looking at you like, oh my gosh, she's literally crying to me because she's hurting.
Yeah.
And he has no idea
Yeah.
how much pain she's going through right now.
Right.
And and how important that is, that even in a marriage, it's not about the lack of conflict
Yeah.
that makes it good. It's about how you deal with those conflicts.
It's how you get through it. Yeah.
It's how you get through it. Okay.
Together. Yeah.
Yep.
So in wrapping up, I think that hopefully we made the point that relationships is important. It's actually God's purpose for us to be in a relationship, not with just Him, but with each other as well. And how do we foster healthy relationships or deep relationships? We talked about vulnerability or being authentic and open. We talked about we're not alone, right? We're supposed to be together with others. And then the third piece we talked about was giving people chances, taking a risk on others, because that's how you get deeper relationships.
Yep.
All right?
All right. Well, if you enjoyed the episode, please give us a thumbs up and then leave us a comment below. We'd like to hear from you. And we'll see you in our next episode.